Woo! Hey everybody, this is Scott from Social Media Mastery, and welcome to the 4 rules of success and how your mood creates momentum. So let's get straight into this training. So thank you for your kind words. You guys have been awesome. You guys have been praising me. We've had so many intakes recently. We've just had a really good time, me and my business partner, Jackie Hutton. But do I have permission to talk about you? Because for the next 60-ish minutes is a marketing plan, but please give me permission to give proof, tough questions, and to ask you to change your mood first and then change your mind about success. This is going to be a tough training. It's really crammed. Usually this would take months to cover this much material. We're going to do it in an hour. You want to make more money by serving more people, and you're willing to earn it by conquering your own blockages. And you've tried many things in the past, but you've been hurt. So please turn off the dang distractions. I will give you what I have right now. We're going to get straight into it. So I'm Scott Lawrence, and I've solved your problem, and I will give you the solution. So just like you, I'm not in love with pointless steps. And just like you, I like to be cool, whatever that means, have fun, keep the people in my life happy, and I dang love keeping my head above water with as little boring steps as possible. So if you're 16 or 60, trust me, time is important. So I really respect your time. Do you want money? Does social media, slow economic conditions, endless new internet stuff, plus home life just kind of screw up your entire plan? Please follow my rules and I'll help you now. So, what 4 rules will actually change your life? The first one, master courage. So be a hero. Be the person who leans forward into the challenge. Number 2, master your vision. Know what it is that you actually want. Number 3, master planning, the experts model. Number 4, master scheduling. Be a diary nerd. We're going to cover all of these in depth. Plus, a bonus rule, drop the attitude and be soul food. So I say that playfully, but I also say that seriously because it's really going to affect you. It's going to affect your life. It's not going to affect me, but it really will affect you. So is this you? You know what? I've done my best. When will everything work? Well, the excuses that steal life, like how a vampire steals life, I've taken some notes recently on hanging out with so many students, so many potential students, and here's kind of the mindset that's going on at the moment. Like you may have noticed the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a lot of changes, and there's been a lot of mood change. A lot of people have really changed how they feel about the world and how they feel about their success. I want you to check this out. So, dear diary, well, this is basically what people might say in their diary, but it's kind of what people say to us when we talk to them about their business. It looks like a mountain. I don't want to climb it. I want it to work, but I want to see it work before I commit the time. I need some movement just to get a feeling that something moves. I've done so much coaching. I've spent money every year. The money hasn't come back. There's too much information all at once. It's information overload. I was fresher years ago. I want to pay someone cheap to fix my marketing system. I've been working on my website. I'm very busy, but not very productive. There are so many courses out there. In the beginning, it seems real, but now everyone is doing it. It's all fake now. I'm not willing to do the steps because everyone's onto it now. I'm not someone who just talks about it. I just don't have the faith in it that I used to have. Does this sound familiar? Have you noticed any of these words going through your own mind? This is very much the feeling of the world right now. And there's an issue with this because there's an emotional flat line. The person who writes this basically, it's not really someone who's winning at life, if that makes sense. But let me show you a better way. So how the 4 rules work. So here's a map of time. So there's now in the beginning, and then now, and then there's financial independence. And so in between, there's the technology, difficult clients, slow economic conditions. What's my message? Who's my ideal client? I can't afford help. I can't afford tools. I don't have my head in the right place right now. I don't want to make a commitment until after I see it working, and my partner needs me for something else right now. If this is familiar, please notice that you're not alone in this. This is what a lot of people are thinking. And it's been solved, and we can show you how to get through this. But you're going to have to be open-minded when we show you the solution to these. So, questions of tools. What tool should I buy? The answer is, they're all the same, just buy one or die poor. I know that, I'm sorry, that sounds really harsh, but people are so obsessed with which system they should buy. Should it be Kartra? Should it be Kajabi? Is it Lead Pages? Is it ClickFunnels? Is it Weebly? Is it Wix? Is it Squarespace? Is it something else? Should I be doing something with WordPress? And they obsess over this. Whereas the correct answer is pick one now. If you're poor, pick the cheapest. Later, when you're rich, pick the most expensive. It is that simple. Please stop obsessing over what tool you buy and just get one. Get a free one, get a cheap one, whatever. We recommend Lead Pages to people first because it's basically 37 US a month, 25 US a month and 37 AUD per month. And something like, I think it's 444 Australian for an entire year's membership. Or you can use their free trial. But you need to start. You've been hurt, get back on the horse and go again. A client failed with me. What should I do? You need to see more clients. So not everyone who sees you is going to behave the right way. Just because you've seen someone who didn't put in the effort doesn't mean that you should stop seeing people. What you want for confidence is competence. The best way to get good is to see as many people as you can. So when I first started in hypnotherapy, 2010, my first 6 months, I was seeing 40 clients per week. And in my first year of hypnotherapy, I was on Australian National Radio, the biggest radio show in Australia, just because of the way I was doing things, just putting out a bit more than other people. I was on the Hamish and Andy show for 3 days and got to hypnotize Cackling Jack on the show, and it was so much fun. But the way I got really, really good at what I'm doing is I committed to seeing as many people as possible. You can imagine 40 clients per week. There is no education on this planet like that. I know that that's not your goal, seeing 40 clients a week, or if it is, great. If yours is 100, I don't know, you're going to see them for like 10 minutes each. But what I want you to do is think about, like, no matter what's happened, the solution isn't time out, the solution's time in. The same as like the new science on how to punish kids. It used to be time out, like send them away so that you can calm down. And what we're saying now, like what the adoption agencies, what the foster agencies, what the science is saying, the textbooks that are new now based on actual science is saying that what people need is time in. They need help. So no one is buying. It's slow. What should I do? Control it. Market more. Sell more. It works for me every time. So we don't look at the economy. We look at our economy. So when the economy is slow, that means that people who just buy straight off your page, that slows down. So people who have to, straight from traffic, straight from the internet, land on your page and make a decision to buy then, that's the thing that slows down. What doesn't slow down is how we build our database. We keep putting out free stuff and keep building our database. The people that we've sold into larger programs and are on reoccurring payments, that doesn't slow down. It's like your house and electricity bills, that they're in industries that they've worked out a way that you can do the same thing. They've worked out a way to make sure they get paid no matter what the economic conditions. Your phone, internet, utilities, mortgage, rent, whatever it is, they don't say, we'll come back, as a luxury once you've got a bit more money. They've worked out their business model, and you do need to work out your business model too. We're really good at selling. We're really good at building leads. We're really good at making content. And these are skills that you need to develop. Then you can control your own economy. What's my message? Well, you should know. You've been telling everybody. So think about the last party you're at. Think about the last barbecue you were at. Think about the last mate you chatted to. Think about the last time you yelled at the TV when the news was on. You already know what your message is. You've been to school, haven't you? Like, you've been to whatever you've done. Is it a Cert 4? Is it a diploma? Is it a PhD? No matter what it is. But don't you have the life experience to already know what your message is? You help people with problems. That's your message. Who's my clients? Well, what problem do you solve? So my first client base was smokers. I know that in class that there's people that, even for the last 10 years have never had a single client, because they're still asking this question 10 years later. Who's my client? Well, pick one, at least for 6 months. It could be smokers, it could be weight loss, it could be insomnia, it could be relationship advice, it could be gut health, it could be hypnobirthing, it could be coaching, it could be PT stuff. Whatever it is that you pick one now and stick to it for 6 months. That's your path to success. It doesn't matter who you pick, but pick one and get clearer at it. But I can't afford help. And this is the harsh truth. And you never will, because you're putting the cart before the horse. So this is like that story of, I had a client that basically said that he wants to put on muscle, but he can't go to the gym because he's not strong enough. You're like, what? Yeah, he said he can't go to the gym because he's not strong enough. I've gone, you go to the gym to get stronger. What's going to put on more muscle? Season 5 of Netflix or going to the gym lifting weights? What's going to put more money in your bank account? Getting coached doing the steps or waiting to see if life gets better for the next 10 years? Think about it. When I joined my coaches, that's when I got better at money. Does that make sense? Think about money like anything else. How do you get good at something? Learn from the best, do the steps. Why do people have an opposing money strategy than how they would run anything else in their life? How do you get better at relationships? How do you get better at health? How do you get better at playing the guitar? Learn from the best and do the steps. Don't just like hang around and see if you get better at guitar by not playing it. Does that make sense? You need to change up your strategy. It's in the wrong order. But I can't afford the tools. No, you're choosing to invest in rubbish. Instead of buying some tools and using other free tools, YouTube's free, Facebook's free, Audacity's free, Leadpage's free, trial is free. Use these tools. Stop buying pointless things. Stop buying coffee, stop buying cigarettes, stop buying alcohol, because you can find that guaranteed there's always something you can slash out of the budget. And if you are one of those people that have already done that, that's great. But still, you need to put something aside for your education and for your tools and for your business. The rich buy assets, the poor buy liabilities. The poor are more likely to take out a loan to buy a car, which will depreciate. The rich are more likely to take out a loan to buy a house or a business. And businesses are growing faster than stocks, faster than real estate. You can't move your real estate. Like if you're the only thing that really controls the price of your house or houses is basically where it is. You can do up the kitchen and bathroom, that's fine. But it's really, isn't the location the biggest part? And you can't really just pick it up and move it if that street's not doing too well right now. So being in your own business is the fastest growth. Real estate is there to store money. Business is there to create it. And you create it by putting out an offer. Also, if you can't afford tools, have you seen that recent ebook that I did called the 4-Hour Course, where I showed you that we funded it with one Facebook Live video? It was only $37. That's not huge. It's not the same as our 15K course, but we got 20 people into it pretty fast with one Facebook Live. So if you think about it, it's you can do this. You need to offer your services to people. Put out the offer so that people come and pay you. How do I get my head into the game? Well, stop programming your brain for negativity. Take responsibility for your words and learn psychology. So I know that you've, if you're watching this video, you've probably learned psychology already in some form. Whether it's from books or a class, maybe it's not that you're a psychologist or psychiatrist. It doesn't have to be that, but maybe you've done a PT thing, maybe even a massage that covered some psychology in Reiki, whatever it is. Or maybe you've done hypnotherapy, coaching, NLP, or some other kind of thing like you learn the study of minds, because psychology, mind study, that's basically what it means. So if you've learned psychology, apply it. I've found that there's been entire schools that teach this that don't even believe their own stuff, so that they tell people how your self-talk affects your actions, and their self-talk was terrible. This is a really, really important fact to know. There are fake life coaches. There are fake limiting belief coaches, because these limiting belief coaches often have limiting beliefs. You know how you cure limiting beliefs? If you think you can solve this problem for another person, it means that you can solve it for you too. And you already know the steps. I promise you that you already know the steps. Just give yourself some credit. Drop the imposter syndrome. Give yourself some credit. You've had some life experience, buddy. You really have. You need to trust yourself, because a fake life coach or a fake limiting belief coach is really someone who's just not practicing what they preach. Be consistent. That's also how you get paid more, because you need to build and maintain trust. So can I create my future without making a commitment? The answer, what? No. Well, what's stopping you from committing to your future? Really think about this one. Write that one down, actually. What is stopping you from committing to your future? It's like asking, can I learn to swim by not going in the water? No, sorry. How do I make sure it'll work? Well, don't quit. That's the thing. We don't know exactly how this is going to play out for you, but we know that you'll get there in the end. And we can help you every step of the way. There's free videos, there's paid courses, there's both. And my partner won't support me. Well, actually, your partner has seen you change your mind so many times that they no longer trust your decisions. Make a decision and show them the results. Don't you think that perhaps that your partner's really, they're a human, they're looking for certainty in you. And if you're perhaps, let's say you've got a bit of a history, you start things, you finish things. It's like, when your kid wants to study karate, then quits, and then they want to study guitar, then they quit, then they want to study Spanish, then they quit. And you're like, well, I will pay for anything that you do, but will you just please finish it? And sometimes that's how your partner can be a little bit with you, because they want to know, like, are you going to see this through? And so it's your job to really show your partner that this is something you're serious, you're going to see this through. If you want their support, it's not free. You've got to pay for it with consistency. They need to believe you. And the infinity loop. This is what happens in people's minds. So there's the start and the finish line. And so the infinity loop, where they go back to the start again, over and over and over and over forever, basically. Fear, no plan, guessing, and no commitment. These are the evils that actually prevent people from reaching their goals. So a story of fear. I'm sick of my job. I need a web page, but I can't afford one. I can't use the free trial because I've already used my email address before. I can't make a new email address because I have too many, but I'm sick of my job. So I was talking to somebody recently, and they're a smart person, they're an expert. But here's the thing. It's that they hate their job, and the one thing that's stopping them from getting out of that job and into freedom is that they won't make a new free email address because they feel that they're having trouble keeping track of them. I don't care if you're having trouble keeping track of your email addresses. If you're that affected by your circumstance, this is like a pretty small sacrifice to make by going, you just have to get a little bit better at managing chaos, a little bit better at accepting the fact that you're not going to be able to keep track of everything all of the time. Keep track of the important things. Some things will have to be let go. But how ridiculous, it might sound ridiculous, and we could incorrectly laugh at this person, but they're smart. Do not laugh at this person, because it's you too, it's me too. We ourselves can fall for these traps. Does that make sense? There might be something as little as this. Like, it might sound ridiculous putting it all in one page at once, but I promise you, this is how the conversations go when I speak to people. It's that their reason for not actually solving their biggest problem that's causing them so much pain is something as ridiculous as I have too many email addresses. I've heard this twice this week. Does that make sense? This is common. You may have heard this one yourself. The story of a decision. So how do I get 20 clients? Well, answer, do the steps. What steps? The ones I gave you. They're too complicated. Do you have easier steps? No, and don't you think that I've already given you the simplest version? But I'm stuck on the technology, on who my client is, and figuring out what I'm saying. Well, I can help. Join my program. It's not the right time, and I don't have the money. The answer to that one, you never will, because you're deciding to be in a loop. And say, okay, well, once I get some clients, then I'll get some help. And then they're like, well, so to get some clients, how do I get 20 clients? Well, do the steps. Well, what steps? Does that make sense? So this is an infinity loop. So sometimes another loop they're in is there's the big picture and the small steps. This is a very common one. They're kind of going, can you tell me the whole big picture? Because there's one step, I don't see where it fits. And you zoom right out and you go like, all right, here's the big picture of your business. And they're going, yeah, but I really need some steps. Okay, well, here's a step. And they go, yeah, but how does it all fit together? Well, here's the big picture. And like, well, yeah, but I'm really a small step kind of a person. Can you show me that? And they keep bouncing between the two in a supernatural hell loop, like in purgatory forever, because they won't basically just have some faith and move forward. Does that make sense? So this is the story of an indecision. So the story of negativity. This is an acronym we like to call CRAP. So counterproductive, reverse answers, autobiography, and placeholder. These are the four ways that we find people answer the question without answering the question. So somebody wants help. So you ask them a question that leads them to where they need to be, whether it's your client or whether it's sometimes yourself or a family member or a friend or something. Counterproductive is when they say something like, oh, fine, I'm just going to go jump off a bridge. And you're like, is that really what you want? Or is it not? Really just what you want is to get better. Reverse answers where they tell you the opposite. So I don't want da-da-da. Autobiography, they spend way too much time telling you their story. Or placeholder is where they agree that your question's good, but they won't answer it. So counterproductive. I just want it all to be over. Well, really? Is that really what you want? Or do you just want to improve? So people who say this, they don't know how destructive they're being to their own psychology. You've got to not say things like this. Realize that you're in a loop. The loop only ends when you make a new decision. Reverse answers. Should I work on my limiting beliefs? So this is something that I've drawn for 4,000 smokers and so many students as well. The conscious mind understands logic. You can see the top circle represents the conscious mind. The bottom circle represents the subconscious. So the top part, logic, the conscious mind understands what you're saying if you say not, stop, don't, or quit. The bottom part, the subconscious, that actually does the behavior, and this is well documented, it understands pictures, sounds, and feelings. So here's an example. If I say, could you please not think of the number 3, you'll be thinking of the number 3 anyway. If I say, don't think about your ex, you'll be thinking about your ex anyway. So this is the trick when people say they're working on the limiting beliefs. What they're doing is they mean that they create limiting beliefs. They think that they mean something else, but what they actually mean when they say they're working on the limiting beliefs is that they're creating more limiting beliefs. Because if you say, should I work on my limiting beliefs? The subconscious only hears limiting beliefs. What you need to work on are freedom beliefs. Does that make sense? So same old story, same old results. So there's now and there's dead. So I'm sorry for, in a way, for being so crude with the way that I'm talking about this, but I really want you to achieve what you want in your life. I want you to get there, and it's not hard if you follow the steps. But over time, people prove themselves to make the wrong decisions to get there. So let's just zoom in and take a look. So for the next 6 months, they say, I'm busy right now. Money is tight. I have to work out my message first. I need to support my partner right now. The kids need me. I'm overwhelmed. Then they get another desire for change. Then another 6 months. I'm busy right now. Money is tight. I have to work out my message first. I need to support my partner right now. And the kids need me and I'm overwhelmed. The kids don't need you to be overwhelmed. The kids need you to be calm and keep moving forward with your plan, to be a role model. So another 6 months pass. There's another desire for change. And it's like, I'm busy right now. Money's tight. It's the same thing. I have to work out my message first. I need to support my partner right now. And the kids need me. I'm overwhelmed. They need you to be certain. They need you to be moving on with your steps. They don't need you to be avoiding solving the issue. So then another 6 months pass, another 10 years pass, and then it's again, I'm busy right now, money's tight, I have to work out my message first, I need to support my partner right now, the kids need me, I'm overwhelmed. And then another 30 years or however many years pass, and again, I'm busy right now, money's tight, I have to work out my message first, I need to support my partner right now, the kids need me, and I'm overwhelmed. And then again and again and again into the same thing until it becomes never. So have you heard of The Diet Starts Monday? Or I'll write the book one day? Because one day becomes never. So if not you, then who? If not now, then when? So you might have a lot on your plate at the moment, but the idea is to take one step toward what you're doing. Another issue, so the empty plan. Step 1, I need to go away and figure it out. No, do it here, do it now. It's not like 50 years ago when you could go home and do homework. Does this make sense? That 50 years ago, you could go home and do all of the homework that you like. These days, we're busier. Time matters more now than ever. There's so many humans on the planet that humans, in a way, they're almost disposable. Like, that we love them, they're amazing. But when, we were first bringing in all the immigrants to build the country, we really, really valued labor. And now the economy is really not valuing humans. I value them, you value them, we love them, they're amazing. I'm a humanitarian, all of those things. I'm just telling you the economic truth that the economy is not favoring people, they're favoring robots. People are getting replaced. Your time, you need to build a plan before it's too late. So don't go away and figure it out. Figure it out. Do it now. So this is what's actually holding you back. The 4 addictions. Rushing. The idea of rushing, it's not the same as against procrastination. Rushing is basically being a bit silly, because instead what you need to do, relax, start now, because we don't want to procrastinate. But with rushing is just almost, it's a tantrum. So write a list, exercise a little bit, move your body, ask for help, and then do the steps. That's it. Make sure you've got the list especially. You win no prizes for rushing. No one will respect you more for it. Procrastination. People tend to really confuse rushing and procrastination because they kind of go, aren't they opposites? No. It's start now, but don't rush. Do one step now calmly, but procrastination. It's like you're looking for breathing space, but you've been putting things off for so long that you became addicted to putting things off. You're old enough to recognize the pattern. Chaos is okay. And comfort. I don't care how good your food tastes. Don't get addicted to it. Eat the right stuff. I don't care how comfy your bed is. I don't care how broke you are. I don't care about the details, about how you've been hurt in the past, or what your partner thinks. What I do care about is what you're doing next and why this is a must for you. I care about you, but I don't care about excuses because it's a terrible mindset. I do care about the pain you've been through, but I don't want you to repeat it. And distraction. Stop doing this and start doing this. So there's the broke mindset and the rich mindset. Stop cancelling appointments. Instead, buy a dang diary. Stop giving into fear and just jump into it. Do it. Stop changing niche and stick with it. Stop changing plans and stick to it. Stop complaining. Just solve, ask, or this does sound a little bit harsh, but shut up. Basically, stop programming your brain for the opposite of what you want. So you're allowed to vent, but once the venting's over, the venting should be over. And then it comes time to focus on the future. And stop doing everything alone and ask for help. You're valuable, you're important. But no one really cares about your agenda as much as you do. No one cares about your to-do list as much as you. So you need to ask for help with your to-do list. So before we start, you are either growing your money or you're not. You're either coming from courage or you're not. You're either using a strategy or you're not. You're either keeping your appointments or you're not. You're just cancelling them all the time, always putting things off. So decide. Are you thinking rich or are you thinking poor? So here's some weird stories that I've heard. So you remember the muscle before the gym one? That one was pretty crazy. But change plans when tired. This is a very common one. That instead of resting when tired, people drop their plans and start a brand new one every time they're tired. This is ridiculous. They quit when they're bullied. Let's say that they join a Facebook group and someone trolls them and then they drop their entire business plan. The bully was a bully. That person was being inappropriate. You're not you. So the idea is that don't give the bully that much power. I've had, if Jackie just recently has had, people trolling her thing. Like I've had people trolling. The thing is that happens as soon as you put yourself out there. People will troll you. That doesn't mean anything about me or Jackie. That just means we put things out and then we get insulted and then we get praised. We get both. You will get both. You're going to get people who love you far too much. You're going to get people who hate you far too much. But both of them, they're all just talk. It's the people who do the steps that really matter. So they stop working on their life goal. Again, doesn't that sound ridiculous to stop working on their life goal? What's more important than your life goal? Like to your family and say your land and legacy, which is your land to build something for you, your legacy set an example. There is nothing more important than those two. And people who just never ask for help because they're either too proud, they don't want people to see that they're a human, and we're all human, drop the mask. But it's hard. I get that it's really hard to take the mask off and ask for help. And they skip ahead because they're too smart for steps, or they're just being kind of, a little bit egotistical. The 60-minute session, we give people a free 60-minute session sometimes when we're helping them and then pitching our program. We also do another one where once they're in, we see them once a week for an hour. And so what happens in that 60 minutes, with our students, we have rules. All 60 minutes, except for 2 minutes are spent socializing, 58 minutes are spent doing the work. But imagine, because this happens a lot with people, you give them 60 minutes to work on something with them, and they spend 45 minutes complaining about their past and 15 minutes of work. This says a lot about their lives. This says a lot about how they're living, that they're wasting at least 75% of their resources because they're spending it all on complaining instead of doing the steps. It's amazing how long it takes to do something that you're not actually working on. So the 4 rules system: courage, goal, plan, and schedule. So instead of doing all the other stuff that we were talking about, this is what you need to be doing. So I just want to thank you again for your maturity, because if you're still watching this video and I haven't offended you by just telling you the truth, thank you for your maturity for watching this, because you understand, if you know anything about psychology, that I'm telling the truth, that habits are real things. You need to trigger yourself in the right way to do them. And so in this video, we're going to get very intense, and I just want to thank you for that. So break the rules and die poor. That sounds so harsh, but you need to follow the rules to get there. Rules are there to be followed. So courage. Motivation is a choice between fear or freedom. You know that you were born to live a greater life. You know that you weren't born to be a cog in the system. But people give themselves away too cheap. They give themselves away to distraction. They give themselves away to cowardice. They give themselves away to trying to make it up all themselves instead of following the plan. Don't give yourself away too cheap. So here's the tightrope conversation. It's that, remember again, the conscious mind and the subconscious. The conscious mind understands logic. But if you were walking on a tightrope, which of these 3 sentences would make more sense to say? 1, I'm going to die. 2, dance like a goose. Or 3, one step at a time. How many people out there, including maybe yourself sometimes, have been awfulizing and doing the I'm going to die? Is that useful if you were walking a tightrope, if you were taking on a big challenge? Is that really the level of psychology that you want to come from? Or do you want to come from the one step at a time psychology? Come from the one step at a time psychology, because it's going to program your subconscious. You see the arrow. These are habits. They will happen. So these are free. Habits are free. Once you've built them, they're free. They're not free to build, but once you've built them, you've learned a skill in the past, guitar, Spanish, whatever it is, or just some party trick, and now you can do it forever. Wouldn't you like to build the right psychology so that it's there forever? And blame or brilliant? Are you coming from cause versus effect? If you've heard of efficacy, which is basically the study of cause and effect, how are you behaving? Do you come from the cause side, where you say that you're responsible for your results, you make it happen, or the effect victim? Children blame because they haven't learned their power yet. So the goal? What do you want, and when do you want it? So over the next 13 weeks, I dare you, I've got a challenge for you. I want you to pick a central goal. What is it? Say 20 clients a week, your first seminar or workshop, your first online course. Pick one and make it big, make it exciting. What and when? Be specific. The magic genie can't read your mind. So let's say it's like a magic genie, which we're talking about the subconscious, but just in code. The magic genie comes to you and says, I've got one wish for you. You can ask me anything. I'll grant one wish. And you say, I want to be rich. And the magic genie goes, here's $1. If you're not satisfied with that $1, it's not the magic genie's fault. You didn't tell it specifically what and when. Or imagine that the $1 million turns up, but turns up anytime, as in 50 years from now. You've got to be specific. You may as well actually ask for what you want of yourself. And then avoid the crap. So don't be negative. Don't ask for a lame goal that's not inspiring. Don't ask for not something. because your subconscious can only understand pictures, sounds, and feelings when it builds habits. And stop telling your life story after you've vented, after you've felt better. It's time to move on to the future. And then actually answer the questions. When a coach, whoever it is, they ask you questions to help you, answer them and answer them brilliantly. So the plan, what's the actual plan? So how will you get there? Find your terms. So terms is an acronym that we use to talk about like what's it actually going to take to get you there. So time, when will you do each part? Energy, what addiction will you need to sacrifice? And by addiction, we're using the word very broadly, maybe slightly flippantly, but addictions to procrastination. We're not just talking about heroin, alcohol, sugar, and other things. What do you actually need to let go of in order to move forward, to get the energy to do this? Is it negativity that you need to let go of? Is it being a victim that you need to let go of? Resources, what will you need? Will you actually map it out? Money, write your budget, actually have it mapped out. So many people don't. They've never opened a spreadsheet. And skills, what will you need to learn? What skills do you already have? Which ones don't you have? Do a SWOT test. If you know the SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, find out what's your strengths and weaknesses. Find out with the weaknesses, like what skills need to be developed to get you there. So the 5 steps to marketing using Track. This is an acronym that covers the whole thing. And that's the beauty of it. Here's your scope. Here's the big picture. Traffic. So promise a lead magnet to people. Go on social media. We're going to show you examples in this, so don't worry too much. You will see examples. Retention. Create an opt-in page. That means keep their details. Their name, email address, phone number. Affection. Give videos and ebooks. Conversion. Make an offer. Keep. Retain your client with great service and commitment. We're going to go through this one by one. So let's go with traffic in a nutshell. What is it? So interview your dang audience and then ask them what they want. Do it now. There's nothing stopping you. Ask your audience what they want. Post an offer for a freebie in a Facebook group. Do it now or stay broke. I know that I'm being harsh, but again, thank you for your maturity, as you're letting me provoke you to maybe take some actions that you otherwise wouldn't have taken. You won't have more time later. Your life is made up of time. Please respect it. Number 3, repeat once per week. Do it now and avoid the crap. No one wants to hear, I'm getting a bit lost. That's quite frankly, I'm calling it loser talk again. That sounds pretty harsh. But don't say I'm getting a bit lost. That's not a question. No one can help you. Imagine you're the coach and your client comes to you and goes, I'm a bit lost. You go, okay. Well, what the hell am I meant to do with that? That's not a question. Be specific. Tell me what you want. I want to help you. I'm here to help you. Ask a decent question. I'm a bit lost is not a decent question. That's whinging. And I hope that makes sense, but literally it's not good. It's just whinging. So instead, ask for help. Be specific or stay broke until dead. And again, that's pretty harsh, but this is the stakes. This is what is at stake. Yes, I'm being very direct, but this is serious. This is your life. So interview the audience. How to stuff this up like a goose. So I like to be funny sometimes, but like here's the ways of stuffing up this plan. Either interview your audience. This is either number 1, don't do it. Number 2, complain. 3, argue with the step. I'm not doing that. 4, leading the witness. That's where like you're supposed to be asking them what they want. Don't tell them what you want and ask them to agree with you. Don't go, I've got 2 options. Which one do you prefer? First, ask them. Find out their words. They will tell you the kind of thing they type into Google. For instance, like if you do weight loss or if you do help people with anxiety, those people aren't typing NLP, hypnosis, or coaching into Google. What words are they typing? Do you remember that Dear Diary thing that I did? That was words that clients and potential clients say to us. We write them down because we like to know the words people are saying. That's me interviewing our market, or, when Jackie and I interview our market, we need to know what's in their heads. 2 people is enough to get a lot of data. You don't need to do a mass survey of 10,000 people. You need to believe that 2 people is enough to get some really great information. Okay, another one, I'll do it later. That's terrible. Do it now. Number 6, overcomplicating it. Why overcomplicate it? Just ask them. And number 7, to advertise to your classmates or competition. As in, don't go to a Facebook group full of the students that you studied with. They don't know. They're not the people who are going to pay you, and they are not the people who understand why people will pay you. What they know is that they've learned how to deliver a service. It could be hypnotherapy, coaching, NLP, whatever it is. They've learned that. They don't know marketing. So the best people besides a marketing coach to ask is, again, interview your audience. Interview the actual people that are likely to pay you. Who are they? Is it more likely to be an NLP coach, or is it more likely to be a fat person who might want to pay you to help them lose some weight, or an anxious person who might want to pay you to not be anxious anymore, or perhaps an insomniac who wants to pay you to help them to sleep better, or a single person who may want to pay you to help them to learn how to find a partner, or an angry person who wants to pay you of how to be more calm. Does that make sense? So interview your market. And then 2, post an offer for a freebie. Again, how to fail at posting a freebie to download. 1 is to have no opt-in, like, lead pages that we use. Free trial. Go get it. 14 days. Circle 12 days from now on the calendar. And I don't care if you've got 500 email addresses. Use free trial after free trial if you have to. Get there. Do it. Another one, number 2, how to fail at posting a freebie to download. No headline. A headline is how to get good thing if bad thing. I don't know if you've seen our headline formula before, but it's very much it's like how to quit smoking in 1 hour. Type I'm in to download the ebook. How to build your course and sell 10 in 4 hours. Type I'm in to download the ebook. That's a headline. No headlines, more like Happy Wednesday, Shifting Energies, Gratitude Post. That's nothing. That's not a headline. Number 3, no call to action. So you need to tell them what to do next. So tell them, type I'm in to download the free ebook. Type I'm in to join my Facebook group with a full training course. Type I'm in to watch the full training video where I will take you through step by step and give you a worksheet to fill out to help you get the result. Does that make sense? And number 5, clutter. Get to the point. So in your post, this is what I see people do. The verb that I use of like type. So it says type I'm in to download. So the verb type. Guess how many words come before that in the sentence? None. I don't go, so if you're interested, so if you think this is for you, then type. Nah. The beginning of the paragraph for the call to action needs to say type I'm in to download. It's pretty simple. Number 3, repeat once a week. How to stuff this up? Number 1, being a one post wonder. I don't know why people do this. It's really, they got this life goal and it's like they're shiny object addicted. They do it once. It either works or it doesn't, but either way, they just do it once. Like, nah, do it once a week. 2, no niche insider. Remember step 1? Number 3, they have no spreadsheet with 100 headlines. Like, do you know how much easier it is to write 100 headlines in one go? We're in the mindset for it. And then over the next 2 years, you've got your headlines done. Like, maybe it took you a couple of hours, but now for the next 2 years, you can post once a week from your headline spreadsheet. And number 4, no content calendar. People don't get like a calendar and map out like what they're going to put out. It's actually not that hard. Use crayons, pens, lipstick. I don't care. It's not hard. The first step is to get a calendar, download one, whatever, print one, and then just roughly write, like, every week, what you're going to put out. Traffic examples. Remember, like when I was saying I was going to give you examples? I want you to stop, slow down, and take a look at this, because this is really important. Because, like, isn't your business funded by traffic? Do you want to know how to get traffic for free? So here's an example. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, this one I was telling you about before. How to create your online course and sell 10 in 4 hours. Type, remember, like no clutter. I don't say anything before type. Type I'm in to download my ebook 4-hour course. It's actually easy. How many comments did I get? 98 comments. Wow. For free. And this is not exactly how the post looks. I've just sort of typed it into Google. I typed my own name. Sorry. I typed my name into Facebook just to see what comes up. These are kind of like post previews. But just for now, I want you to look at the actual words that I have written and how many comments I got back. So the Talk It Up Tuesday in the Hypnosis Business Success group, I typed, how to attract 20 clients per week without getting your ad shut down. Then where it says type I'm in to join 20 clients in 3 days for free. I'm just going to go back one. See how there's that gap between the top and the bottom paragraph? It's actually like that to here, except that it's not showing it properly because it's a preview. But when people see it, they actually see it the other way with the proper paragraphing. Here's my business partner, Jackie. How cool, how smart is she? Look, 130 comments. Hers, 128 comments. What did she write? 5 conversion templates that got me 100 free leads overnight from my webpage. Under it, it's going to say stuff like type I'm in to download, type I'm in to get. Another one. How to cure the anxiety loop. Type I'm in to download the new free ebook. 127 comments. You're seeing basically what's happening here. Free leads. How am I doing it? Another one. How to finish your marketing in one day, even if you're under pressure. The under pressure, again, we interviewed our market. That was the word that came up. Type I'm in to get my new ebook. 1 day, 20 clients. 119 comments. So another one. You don't need to make long ebooks or long videos like me. I mean, I love doing this stuff so much that, of course, I make big, giant things. You can make 5-page ebooks. You can make short ones with big fonts. You can make 20-minute videos. You can make 10-minute videos. Keep it short. Get to the point, and people will love it. Next, how to cure depression training will be available free in this group shortly. Type yes if you would like this training free in this group and you'd like to be the first to know. 283 comments? Whoa, there's a bit of a theme here. How to hypnotize an addict and what to watch out for. We use the TRANCE acronym for hypnosis. Talk, so then I went through what trance is. 93 comments. They're all I'm ins, by the way. And how to quit smoking in under an hour. Type I'm in to download the free ebook. 178 comments. Would you like that kind of results? Well, just do what I do. Do what I do. 20 steps to attract up to 20 hypnotherapy clients per week. Type I'm in to download the free ebook. 236 comments for free. No money down. How to cure addiction with hypnotherapy. Type I'm in to watch video 2 for free. Now, obviously, you're going to need help with this because you'll do it and you might not get the same results as me. And you need perhaps my eye or Jackie's eye to look at it. But that's fine. Like, we can help. How to Cure Depression, the full-length ebook. Type I'm in to download the ebook for free. 205 comments. You can imagine how big my database is, right? 9 ways to cure resistant clients after they've failed and ignored instructions. Type I'm in to watch the new video. So again, like, we interviewed our market to find the language to do that. 110 comments. This is so cool. This is so cool. Free leads. But first, a quick story. This is not a nice story. This is a terrible story. So 2010, I met a friend. 2015, he asked me the same stuff. 2020, he's asking me the same stuff. So a friend asked me for business advice. I show him what I'm earning. I give him steps to do. He does nothing. 2015, he's still in pain, telling me about the job that he hates, trying to convince his parents that he's going to be successful one day. So a friend asks me for business advice again. I show him what I'm earning again. I give him steps to do again. Again, he does nothing. 2020, now it's been 10 years. A friend asks me for business advice. I show him what I'm earning. I give him steps to do. Why do people do this? Can you guess what 2025 will look like for him? So I don't know if you've seen this by Tony Robbins, but this is kind of what happens. Like, why did 10 years pass with no action? Well, here's how it works. There's an opportunity to make this better, and I want you to take the opportunity to make this better so that you don't get stuck forever. So it starts with the pain. People don't like the situation that they're in. Pretty common. We understand that one. We can relate. So the bills, the fatigue, the corporate slavery or the capital slavery, or they're just finding that your time and energy is just being used up, surviving in a way that you don't like. You want to change the way that you're surviving to be much better on your own terms. Pretty much you're looking for freedom. So then what happens? The desire for change comes up, which is fair enough. You're like, you know what? I want more for myself. I want better for myself, gosh. And then you get ready for change. You're like, you know what? I'm going to do this. What is it, like New Year's resolution or something? But I'm going to do this. But then you remember a past trauma, you fail to commit, or you cancel or drop out. Or you go, have you got something cheaper? Or can we postpone? Or this isn't a good time for me, or I'm overwhelmed. I've been hurt in the past. Where's the results? And this is literally like actual sentences that people have said, believe it or not. And then they lose momentum. They waste time until the pain comes back, and they're still feeling the pain of the bills, the fatigue, the slavery. And this time it's just getting worse. They're just getting older. So the desire for change is getting harder. The energy is getting affected. But then, again, you know what? I'm ready for change. But then, again, they remember past trauma. It's harder this time. They failure to commit, cancel, or dropping out. You got something cheaper? Can we postpone? This isn't a good time. I'm overwhelmed. I've been hurt in the past. Where's the results, right? They lose momentum, and then the pain comes back. So that's why they call it the Crazy Eight. So the quick story, can you guess what 2025 will look like for him? And this is really not funny. Can you guess what 2030 will look like for him? It's actually quite sad. So, but I've tried everything. Well, what happens if you just miss one step? So, like, here's, the rules for success. Right goal, right plan, right schedule, 100% commitment. Correct. That's how you do it. But what happens if last time you tried only one of them was missing? There's only one right combination. There's 12 combinations. If you get them all wrong, obviously that's wrong. So instead of the right goal, wrong plan, wrong schedule, wrong commitment. Obviously that falls apart. This is obvious, but the one that's not so obvious, what if you just had the wrong goal? You climbed to the top of the ladder, but it was leaning against the wrong building. What if you failed to pick the central goal that really excited you? But you had then the right plan to achieve it, you were successful at it, you had the right schedule, 100% commitment, it's still wrong. This is how people get hurt. It's subtle. What if you had the right goal, right schedule, 100% commitment, but the wrong plan? It means that you never get there. You jump off the cliff and then you just fall down the middle instead of having the bridge. What if you've got the right goal, the right plan, 100% commitment, but the wrong schedule? As in that you're planning too much per day or not enough per day, or that you haven't used the GPS system for time, which is something we talk about later in this video, about how to schedule things. It's still wrong. But then other combinations, like say, like what if like you've got the right goal, right plan, right schedule, but you're not really in it because you're worried about how you got hurt last time. It's like, well, do you want to stay there forever? Or one day do you eventually want to move on? And if one day, what's stopping you? It's not that you're going to have more time later. You've got more time now than you'll ever have. It's how you're prioritizing it. Other combinations, what if like it was the wrong goal, no commitment, but then you did have the right plan, the right schedule? It's still wrong. There's so many combinations. That's why only one of these combinations is right. If you didn't get there in the past, there's a reason that you didn't get there in the past, and it's probably that you didn't have the commitment to all four. And so here's another combination. So each of these are different, you can see. So what if the only thing that was right was the plan? And another time, the only things that were right was the schedule and the commitment. And then another time, all that was right was the schedule. And another time, the only thing that was right was the commitment. They're all wrong, except for one. This is the only one that works. Everything else will fail. So don't worry if you failed in the past. What you need to do is identify which of these you need to fix and get all four working. So, another example. Get a coach or play it safe. Rest when you're tired versus quit when you're tired. Ask for help when you hit a wall or do it alone. Do the steps as the layer or make them up yourself. Again, only one of these 12 combinations. So like, you know how we did the whole thing over here? Only one combination's right. Here's another 4 things. What if you've had combinations of this in the past where you did have a coach, you did rest, you did ask for help, but you made up your own steps? Or what if you didn't get a coach, but you still rested, asked for help, and did steps? Or what if you just didn't ask for help, so you had a coach, but you didn't contact them when you got stuck? So there's so many ways to fail at this. That's why what you need to do is get all 4 right. Commit to getting all 4 right. So proof of concept. So people go like, oh, Scott, are you really, as successful as you say? Just, can I have permission to show you something? So this was just last Saturday. I'm recording this on a Monday, so 2 days ago. Got back to my office today. I took a picture of this. That's just what I did on Saturday in just 3 hours. I saw another client on the 4th hour after that. She couldn't afford to pay that day, but so I just gave her a PayPal link. So I actually did like a really, really good day, like $11.85. But then like also through PayPal, through recurring payments and stuff. So 94, 173, 240, 35, just different, that 35, that's PayPal takes 3%. So these odd looking numbers, that's why they're odd looking numbers, because the real number would have been 37 minus the 3% that PayPal takes. But like kind of, Feb 10, Feb 9, Feb 7. So see how like that's come through, but also we're going back. If it'll let us go back, 1185 on, what's the date here? From the 7th to 8th of Feb. Okay, so around 7th to 8th of Feb, 1185 plus 10th and 9th. So over the weekend, far out. Like, it's been not too, that's not bad a weekend. So the lady who couldn't pay in the day, like, she still wanted to keep the appointment. She said, can I pay later? So this is a tactic you can use if they want to come. So I put in the 150 that she's going to pay, clinical hypnotherapy, Lawrence hypnotherapy. I just type those into PayPal and hit save change. Then I hit email, and then I copy that, and then I just sent her an email. So here's the link for the payment. I just sent her that. And then there's another 150. So when we were talking about traffic before, so that was traffic. Retention. So the middle, so in traffic, so, track. So TRACK. So we've taken the T and the K off for a second just to focus on RAC. Retention, affection, conversion. This is the middle of the funnel. Let's zoom in and take a look. Otherwise it's called the OVO. It's the same thing. Opt-in value offer. RAC can be, retention, which is the opt-in. And then A can be the affection, which is also V for value. Or O, the offer, is the same as C for conversion. This is the middle of your funnel. So once you've got traffic, this is how you warm them up, basically. It's like all the videos and ebooks or whatever I do. It's the same principle. I'm doing an OVO. Opt-in. Let's take a look at that. So get lead pages. Make opt-in pages. So like what you do, like I've got so many videos on this. I'd prefer not to make this whole video about how to use lead pages, because you can work that out, or you can use another video, or ask me for a video. I'll give it to you for free. Actually sign up for the 14-day trial. People have failed at this point, and I've given you a story about it recently because somebody just didn't want to start a new email address. Don't stuff this step up. And then you click on create new landing page. Sorry, I'm going to go back and read that. Click create new landing page. This is pretty basic stuff, peeps. Smiley face. And add your pics and text to these parts. We have more videos on this. Just go and ask for help. Don't waste 2 years thinking about what web page program to use, or you'll die poor. Thank you again for your maturity, allowing me to say these things to you. But who cares what tool? Like, is it Lead Pages? Oh, I'm not using Lead Pages. I'm using ClickFunnels. Instead of ClickFunnels, I'm using something else. I'm using Mailchimp instead of Outlook or something. I don't care. They all do the same thing. It's that when you're rich, you pay more, right? And you get more functionality when you're rich, when you pay more for it, right? But if you don't have much money, then get the cheapest tools. They're all the same at that level. Just please get started. It's not that hard. These red arrows represent what you need to change. Put in your logo, put in your headline, put in your features, things next to the ticks. Tell the button what to say, tell the button where to go, and then put in maybe your picture of the ebook or picture of the video. They can opt in. Yay. That's the opt-in. That's as hard as it needs to be. Ebook or video. So the OVO, opt-in value offer. What's value? The value is either an ebook or a video. It's pretty simple. So for an ebook, open a Word doc, make a cover using Canva and a Dazing. Write your headline. List what you want to say. And then here's our formula of what to write in the book. Cover, as in put in a picture of your front cover. Again, using Canva and a Dazing. So cover, then relate when you say, are you, do you want this? This helps your ebook be on topic. Don't start like a James Bond movie, like in an action film, diving off a cliff with a plane. Don't say, oh, it was the best of times, the worst of times. When you're doing a how-to ebook especially, after the cover, the first thing that you actually need there is, are you this, do you want that? Do you want to lose 15 kilos and something? What is it you help people to do? Ask them if they want it on the second page. And then the story, then tell them a story about how, you can relate back. Teach them something, maybe 3 to 5 steps, then give them a summary. Convert to PDF, then upload to Lead Pages. It's pretty simple. So like, what's this? Like kind of the first bit, this is me. I opened a Word doc. I opened Microsoft Word. There's the picture of my ebook. I used first Canva to make a flat version. I went to a Dazing to make it 3D. Then, like when I was saying the relate, are you in business for yourself and do you want to save time and reach more people? That's the relate. And then down here, if you can't convert, for some reason you don't have the software, to convert your document into a PDF, which is the ebook format that people like to have, go to Zamza. It does it for you. So hopefully that helps you with the tools. Then, how to make a video? Well, use your phone or use Prezi. I'm actually doing both right now, believe it or not. So use your phone or use Prezi. Prezi is, sorry, I'm going to go back for a second. Prezi is the program I'm using to make this presentation. How cool is it? You can make videos like the one that you're watching right now if you go to prezi.com. But what should you say in your video? Topic, relate, story, teach, first step, what's next? Topic, what's your video about? Hey everyone, I'm Name from business name, and this video is going to be about da-da-da. Relate, do you want these things? Then tell them a story that they can relate to. Then teach them 3 to 5 steps. Then tell them, now, remind them of their first step again, because they're overwhelmed from seeing so many steps. You always have to come back to the first step again. And then tell them what's next, as in look out for the next video or join my thing. But that's how you do a video. So it's pretty cool. The offer then, what do you say in your offer? It's always these 6 things. Name your program, core inclusions, the bonus, standard results, price, and the no-brainer inclusion. So here's an example I like to give of how I've done the quit smoking hypnotherapy. And I want you to hear all 6 of these when I do it, but I'm not going to slow down because I don't want to sacrifice flow and energy. So when people they go, is this a place where you do hypnotherapy? Yeah, you're calling to make an appointment. And they go, first I want to know more about it. That's when I say the offer. So the offer is the program, the quit smoking hypnotherapy is the 2 sessions of hypnotherapy plus the 2 disc CD sets. Then the standard result. Then we go, almost everybody quits by the end of the first session. It's $395 and that comes with everything, including the lifetime guarantee, which means that you get to come back free of charge for life. So the name of the program, we go, the program's the quit smoking hypnotherapy that comes with 2 sessions of hypnotherapy plus the 2 disc CD set. Almost everybody quits by the end of the first session. It's just $395 and that comes with everything, including the lifetime guarantee, which means you get to come back free of charge for life. That's it. Another place you put this offer format is on your web page when you make an offer. So you're going to have one page for your offer. Have a page for your offer. And then maybe have a button where they can pay you or contact you. So video tools. When I was saying that I'm actually recording this on my phone? Yes, I was on my computer when I made these slides, but right now I am holding my phone and I have a headset in and I'm speaking to the headset. That's what the thing looks like. So this is a screenshot of my phone. See where I click on Prezi, and then I load Prezi, and then I load screen recorder, then go back to Prezi, and then it records me going through Prezi. And that's this video. That's how I did it. You upload it to YouTube. And here's another video editing tool that you might like. If you're actually editing videos, AVS Video Editor. I think it's only about $30. There's a free trial version. Also, use Audacity if you want to do sound stuff, if you want to edit sound. These tools, they're all available to you. So you can edit in really cool intro graphics, whatever you're going to use. There's another site I actually use called iVipit, and it creates, at the start of this video, I actually did a cool little thing that says Scott's Thoughts. That came from iVipit. You can make these things yourself. Pay someone to do it for you. I don't care. But just do it. Then the Keep in track, so TRACK. Keep, amazing service. Keep teaching. Keep relaxing them. 90% of your job with anybody in business is to calm them down from having a tantrum. Because people are scared these days. They need your certainty. Keep inspiring them. Keep listening to them. Your attitude must be 100%. It doesn't matter if you're a parent or in business. It's the same. They're looking for certainty from you. You're allowed to be human, but people are scared these days. That's why so many people follow me, because I go, hey, I got the answers. And they're like, oh, thank God someone does. How weird is that? That people just follow you because not only your information is amazing, but your attitude is well, you've got this. They feel safe because you feel safe within yourself. They want to feel safe like you feel safe. They want to feel the same things that you feel. So if you want more money, you need to be in control of your psychology and what you're putting out there. I hope this has been useful so far. So the 4-step system for success: courage, goal, plan, and schedule. So when people ask us how to achieve anything, we just say CGPS. So we've been through courage, we've been through goal, we've been through plan. We're about to go through schedule. So I don't know if you heard of this guy. When it comes to time management, the guy, his name's Tim Urban. Watch his TED Talk. Just go straight to, pause this actually, then go to YouTube, type in Tim Urban time management and check out his video. But just to give you a little idea, that's him. And he's brilliant. He relates to people so well as to why they take forever to do things. And then he talks about how there's the instant gratification monkey versus the rational decision maker. And it's not until the panic monster turns up that the instant gratification monkey goes away. The instant gratification monkey likes to procrastinate, but it's scared of the panic monster. So the idea, like, here's how it works. The logic mind goes, I'm going to steer the ship. But then the instant gratification monkey goes, yeah, but isn't it more fun just to kind of put it off? Isn't it safer to like not take the risk and not commit? Until the panic monster comes, the deadline comes, something gets serious, and they're like, well, can you help us earn 10 grand before the next 2 weeks? And then it's just this big loop of just going over and over. So what we're going to get you to do, instead of like having to use a panic monster to run you all the time, let's get you started on a 90-day challenge. So there's a system that we use called Code, and this is how you run your time. This is how you schedule yourself. So first you start with a mind map, and we get you to use the central 90-day goal. So write your goal in the middle, then write all the steps around it. And then once you've written your steps around the mind map, once you've written down all the things that you know are going to be steps that you need to do, then use the letters of Code. See how it's creative, organization, decision, and extrovert. Creative is the stuff where you need to go away and do it yourself to figure it out, write an ebook, plan something out. Organization is like all that admin, the daily stuff that you can do by yourself, but it's not creative, it's just housekeeping. Decisions are the big steerings, like as in decide what's your central goal. Decision, is it going to be a seminar, one-on-one clients, or something? You make your decisions once and you never change them. That's how you be successful. Poor people make and break decisions every 2 seconds. Rich people make a decision fast and they stick to it forever. And then extrovert, that's like when you may be doing a session, doing a video where you need energy. So these 4 things, creative, organization, decision, and extrovert, 4 very different energies. Imagine kind of like a mechanic that's fixing a car. They need to get the head around it. They're doing creative and organization stuff. But then the bell rings. They have to take off their gloves, wash their hands, come and see someone else to talk about their car, about the funny whistle coming from the back left to the wherever. And by the time they're finished, they come back to the car and there's been an energy loss or a momentum loss. It takes them 15 minutes again just to get back into the flow that they were in. So let's get back into this. So the central goal, once you've written your steps, write the letters C, O, D, or E next to each one to find out which category it's in. Once you've got your plan written down, your central goal in the middle and all of your steps, and then you've written C, O, D, or E next to every step. Here's an example. You write, as one of your steps, you go, write ebook. Which one is that? Is that C, O, D, or E? It's C because it's creative. What if you go, put on a seminar this week? You go, well, that's E for extrovert. You need to be responsive. What if you say plan a seminar? Well, that's D for decision because you're planning the date. Does that make sense? Then you make sure you're keeping them away from each other. You plan the next 13 weeks. Write down, like break up your plan, all of your steps, and populate your diary. So grab from here, once you've written the whole thing down, like do this whole process. Write down every step that you know that's going to have to happen. And then put them in here. Write down what the plan's going to be. Then we've got some, here's an example of like 3 different plans. So let's say you're doing one-on-one. You need to work out what problem you solve, the pillars or like how you help people, what your program is, what your price, the premise. You do the traffic, the HOC, which is the headline, offer, call to action. So on your webpage, you write down the headline of your offer, then the actual offer, then tell them to do it, and you want to get $2,000 per week. Another example, you might do an online course where you need to get traffic. You might do Facebook Lives or get Facebook groups going. You need to build trust, so you do 10 lives, ebooks, an indoctrination video, a Mythbuster video, a case study video. You do sales, you do a sales offer, you do an email campaign, and then with your product, you work out the problem, path, promise, then your price, so maybe $125 a week for 10 weeks, for 10 spots, and each of these is a way of earning $100,000. Or you might do a seminar where you need traffic, you need 85 free tickets, maybe 25 attendees for a 2-hour event. You build trust with free content, framework, stories, and maybe no class activities for a 2-hour thing. And then for sales, you go sell 2.5 tickets at $5,000. And product, you give a 4-day seminar. That's what they get for it. So every quarter you do a 4-day seminar, and they get the same content, the same framework, more stories, but tried class activities where 3 people from your class, they go off in 3s, where one practices, the other one's the victim, or the so like one's the therapist and the other's the patient, or like one's the marketer, the other one's kind of just like the customer, whatever they're role playing, and the third one's the observer, and so they're your class triads. So that might be your plan, whatever you're doing for a plan. And then you go, here's my whole year. I've got like 4 quarters in it. or 4 lots of like 90 to 100 days ish in it. And then I've got like 8 parts that we break it into. So then you've got your daily blocks. So content, remember like when I said content is ebooks, frameworks, slide shows, copywriting. O is for organization, which is like emails, bills, booking appointments, housekeeping. Decisions is like, big decisions, sales cycles, price, niche, hiring. Extrovert is filming, client sessions, or public speaking. And done is like when it's finished. So you have the code thing, and then you write down your plan, and then next to each one, you can see how like there's this whole plan written down now on a mind map. So whether the central topic is one-on-ones, seminars, or online courses, write down all of your steps in the mind map, and then next to it, you can see these like letters here, like where it says C, O, D, or E. So the C, blogging, that's a creative thing, if that makes sense. Up here, C, banner, that's a creative thing. E, for Facebook Lives, that's extrovert. You need energy for that. What else we got? Film things, you need to be an extrovert for that. What else have we got over here? So one-on-one clients, D and D, because it's a decision and the extrovert stuff. So once you've got your plan there and you've broken it into code, you need to make 4-hour time blocks. So the way you do it is over the next 2 lots of 45 days, the next 90 days, plan 4-hour blocks. So you've only got 94-hour blocks over the next 45 days. So use them. So over the next 45 days, work out from your mind map what your blocks are going to be. Really block out big 4-hour chunks. And that's how you're going to get it done faster, which means that you only get 2 blocks per day, if that makes sense. You only get 2 blocks per day, and that's all you get. So if one of your blocks is extrovert, you might make the other one creative, but never have creative and extrovert in the same block. Otherwise, it's going to cost you time and energy. And then you chuck it in your diary and you make sure you keep the appointment and stop canceling every 2 seconds like so many people do. Because that's how you make a bigger impact. That's how you make more money. So I hope that's been clear enough, like so far, but it's get it done versus never. So there's the C GPS versus crap. Courage, goal, plan, schedule, which we've just been through, versus counterproductive, reverse answers, autobiography, and placeholders. So we hope to see you in Social Media Mastery soon, but we've recently completed our intakes for quite a while. But next time, I recommend doing whatever it takes to join, commit, and get results with us. So this is the program. I'm not going to really go into it. In another video, I will, though. But in this one, we're not. So we'll see you in the next intake. I hope this video served you. I hope it provoked you. I hope it's made you feel or see things in a different way. So it's been a long video, and even now I must rest. So I will see you next time.